Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Sutton, and I am this month Ask the Expert. I'm so excited to be presenting to you on how you can increase your visibility, how to create lasting impressions, and build your next level network. I will cover the following: how to build an authentic connection to help build your relationship with others, how the importance of having a solid network strengthens your credibility, how being yourself is not only good enough, but your superpower, and lastly, how clarity and confidence can accelerate your network. So, just for you to know a little bit about me, I have been working with Simplicity for the past 8 months, and it has been amazing. I love Simplicity. I love working with my fellow consultants and being able to exchange ideas about our clients. My client is Microsoft, and I sit in Team Xbox, a place where we desire for everyone to have fun. I am a communications project manager in their Gaming for Everyone department. I have a background in public relations, executive communications, marketing, and learning development. I'm also a certified executive coach where I help executives, majority women, find confidence needed in order to articulate what they believe to be their value, their purpose, and to align to their career objectives. So, the question is, why is this topic relevant? And I would say this from tons of research I have done, as well as working with others, I realized there are three core priorities that we all have, and that's whether we know it or not. And that is one, we all want to be remembered. I mean, honestly, who doesn't want to be remembered for the work that they do? We all want to be remembered. There's nothing like going into a workplace or going into whoever your client is, wherever that place is, and hearing them talk about the person who used to occupy that spot, right? And for some of you, you may be like, I don't want to hear about anybody else. But to me, that's pretty cool because that person left a lasting impression. So we all should be aiming to be remembered. We all should be aiming for someone to speak of our work in the same amount of enthusiasm and also excellence. We all want to create lasting change. I don't know about you, but every single time I get the opportunity to work with clients or to even work with my consultants, I want to be able to create those lasting changes. I want to be able to have the heart of how can I help you? And I believe that unknowingly, that should be all of our pursuits. And lastly, we all want to do meaningful work. Let's raise your hand if you want to do meaningful work. I know that I want to do meaningful work. I know that at the end of my day, I want to be able to lay down and say, you know what? I really enjoy what I do. So when we think about how to increase our visibility, I believe that this is at the core of everything that we do. We all want to be remembered. We all want to create lasting change, and we all want to do meaningful work. So, my pro tip one for you is to change your mindset. It wasn't until I got from a place of how can I benefit from this place, benefit from working with Simplicity, benefit for having Microsoft on my resume, to a place of how can others benefit from me? And I know if we're honest, we all have had that mindset. How can I benefit from this? But I believe changing your mindset and going from a place of how can I benefit to how others can benefit from encountering me, from working with me, from my work, it can become a game changer. And most importantly, I believe also changing our mindset of getting rid of all of the rules that we have learned about networking, about how we need to show up in these spaces, rewrite those rules for you. Because if we're honest, not a lot of rules is inclusive to all people and all personality types, right? So changing your mindset in order for it to conform to how you want your experience to be in your client experience as well as in your career, it's a game changer. So change your mindset from how others can benefit from you and how you can benefit from others. That brings me to my next tip. Be you. Authentic connections comes from you being you. It wasn't until I realized that being me is not only my secret sauce, but it's also my superpower. Walking into the door as me, as woman, as Christian, as my Southern personality, as someone who is a foodie, someone who loves the work that I do, that it became contagious to other people. Now, I do want to say a slight disclaimer because I understand that those people who are minorities like myself, and even others who are in underrepresented communities, that being you can sound pretty daunting, right? That being you can sound, well, I don't know if I can show up as me. Would that be accepted? Let me tell you, I have been there, I have done that, and I have felt those emotions. But I want you to know that you don't have to be confined to what other people say that you should be, that you can show up as your most authentic self and take those barriers off yourself, that you belong, right? And that if you're invited in the room, that means you're supposed to be there. And most importantly, people need what you have. So to show up in a room and have the fullness of who you are, whether you're a Black woman, a Black man, a Latino woman, whatever the case may be, carry that in the room with you. So showing up as you is your real superpower. And the diversity of voice, of thought is needed. In fact, I realize that it has benefited me most when I come to the table as who I am with my historical experiences and my background that allows me to bring value into my client space, to bring that sauce into my client space. So again, I know for some people this may sound daunting, but I want you to change your mindset and be able to view it as a great attribute to have. So pro tip 3, that is have a clear vision. Have a clear vision. I can't tell you how many times I work with clients, or I even work with, women who really don't know what they want. They don't even know when they sit down and talk to their clients and they say, "Hey, tell me about yourself," or "How long have you been with Simplicity?" or, "What are your career aspirations?" They can't tell their client that. A rule of thumb that I have learned is that when you have a clear vision on what you want, it also gives you voice. People will remember. People will remember what you said. People would remember all of the things that you said you like, your career aspirations, and also give them an opportunity to say, "You know what? I think I have someone I would like for you to meet." But as well as it will allow you to meet someone and say, "You know what? I want to connect you with this person." So have a clear vision. What do you want for your life? Where do you see yourself? What is something that you wish to accomplish through being a consultant? What is that one thing you would like to do, even at your client space, right? What are those conversations you're having with your team about your career aspirations and where you see yourself going and what you see yourself doing? Have a clear vision. I realize that if you want to make a lasting impression upon the people that you work with, even fellow consultants, is being clear about what you want. And I know that Lisa, you've heard talk a lot about that through personal branding. So I'll encourage you to jump on those calls because I know I have benefited a lot through personal branding, through her workshops and her book. So the last tip I have is proximity is power. Proximity is power. You know what? It matters being in the right rooms. And it matters with meeting the right people. There is power being able to understand that you're in a room, not only where you can benefit, right? Like I said earlier, but where others can benefit from you. There's power in proximity. There's power in being able to recommend resources and tools that you know, right? That you have knowledge of. There's power in just being connected and having information is power, knowledge is power. So there's proximity is power. So being at the right place at the right time. Listen, networking can be very daunting, and if we're honest, like I mentioned before, I don't believe that the tips that we learn is very inclusive to all people and all personality types. But I have found that when I take the tools and the knowledge that I have learned and really use it as something that can propel me into my next client meeting, or meeting other people, it works for my good. So when I say proximity is power, that means going to all of the amazing consulting calls that they have every month. I miss some, but I make sure that I look at the recording, because there's power in that. Being in proximity to people who have the information that we need, it only benefit us at the end. And it will help you leave those lasting impressions, knowing that you have something that can help you propel forward in your career. So, four things, a pro tip I'll leave for you is one, change your mindset. Change your mindset about who you are and the value that you can add to the room. Number two, be you, because being you is not only your sauce, but it's your superpower. Number three, have a clear vision. What do you want for yourself? What do you want for you? What career aspirations do you have? What are your goals being in your client space, and how can you serve others? And number four, proximity is power. Get in the room because you belong there. Thank you, and I hope these help.